o'clock, so we'll go ahead and call our meeting to order. Welcome everyone tonight. First, we'll look for additions or deletions to the agenda. Does anybody have anything to add or subtract? Corrections? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
And motion support. Again, any comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. It is passed. Roll call. Any taken?
Yes.
We are good. Okay. Now, if everyone would please rise and join us with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Born and unborn.
Hey, thank you very much. Next on the list, we entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the September 28, 2021 regular meeting.
Support.
And motion support. Are there any comments, questions on that? Last chance. Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the minutes say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. Motion is passed and the minutes are approved. Moving on to communications. First up, we have communications from members of the public regarding the conditional rezoning proposal for the Warwick Living Center. Your pleasure. To receive or not to receive?
Move to receive.
Support.
And a motion support. Any comments or questions? Again, hearing none. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. Motion is passed. We received the communications. Moving to item E, consideration of a resolution to approve for the request for purchase to AIS Construction Equipment in the amount of $181,850 for a front end loader for Public Works. Your pleasure.
Move to approve.
Support.
We have a motion of support. Who has the first question?
I'm sure that we've talked about this in the budget. This is the one we talked about, right?
Yes, this is the same one as budgeted for. One I can get into, this is for specific questions.
Anybody have more specific questions? Just me? Okay, I got one. I believe this 181,850, and then there's a $20,000 trade-in.
Yes.
Just did a quick internet search. A lot of the end loaders I saw of the same vintage seem to be selling for a lot more than 20. Could you sell ourselves for more than that, or?
We have
is there
not
a reason?
explored it. That was the price that was given to us for a trade-in for it. The original one that we're trading in, looking to trade in, is a 1992 model. We purchased that back in 1992 for about $77,000, back when that one was new. They're offering us $20,000 on this one. This one needs significant work. It needs tires, which are about $9,000 for all 4 tires that need to be replaced. The bucket has main bearings that are going out, and the transmission and the main hydraulic pump need to be replaced as well. So that might be items that we're taking into consideration for the trade-in value. It's not, it does need work, so whoever buys it's going to have to.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just heard you tell me that you don't think we can get more than 20,000 by selling it ourselves.
We did not try to sell it ourselves, no, that's typically the cost with this big equipment, when we go to get rid of it, that's one of the things we look at is trade-in value to get rid of it, helps try to reduce the cost.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Any opposed say no. Motion's carried. Like we're buying a front end loader. Resolutions. We have to consider a resolution to approve budget amendments as presented by Finance for planning and zoning, emergency management, human resources, public safety inspections, and assessing. Your pleasure.
Move to approve, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we can have questions.
Support.
Okay, we have support, a motion and support, excuse me. Questions? Michelle, you want to be first, I think.
Well, I just let Curtis do it. It's just a little rundown. I'm sure he's ready for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So the planning and zoning, request is because with some of the reorganization here and moving Michael Carr to the, code enforcement, take over Aaron's position, we kind of took a look at the budget and figured out that some of the things that we actually had in that part, or in the, public safety inspection budget were really actually planning and zoning related, so the fees for the permits were there, so it made more sense to move those to planning and zoning, so that's just moving them from one area to the other. That's that one. Emergency management is just to put in the hazard pay that was approved with the last one, put it in the budget, so that's what that is.
And then, I have it.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
this week. Good, I think.
human resources. So this one is a little bit different, so, because there's two parts of it. One part of it is that when we originally budgeted, we did not budget for human resources to have a human resources clerk. After we did the budget, we decided that we were going to split the finance part 50-50 between finance and human resources. But we didn't budget for that, so we've been putting the expenses in 50-50, we didn't budget for it, so we have taken some of it out of finance and put it in human resources. The other portion of that is that there was some overlap when we hired Sherry with Brooke, so that Brooke could stay on and do some consulting. When we made the budget, we have some budget for one human resources person, so we have a little extra expense. That was basically because of the consulting that keeping Brooke on for all that too.
Is she still on?
No,
That was just a, by Sherry.
that was like a I think 4 or 5 years ago. She was here before, just as an overlap to help
Okay.
smooth the transition. The public safety inspections, again, with taking a new code enforcer, there's some additional training needed because we're only budgeted for errands. Something brand new, there's more training involved, so this is mostly to cover training. And then also there's some computer equipment, some other things that we planned on doing upgrades to next year, but since we're in the transition process and doing that, we kind of want to just bump that up to this year because it's going to be replaced anyway. We might as well let him learn, not have to use the old equipment to replace it 6 months later. So that's just moving up what we would have replaced anyway, just moving it up a year. And then for assessing, that was just an error when we made the budget. Last year, we had an additional $1,500 that we didn't, that was a one-time thing. We're going to take it up this year. We caught that when we were doing our, that was all the assessment.
That answers my question.
Okay, next question? Okay, I have one for you. As part of all this realignment and whatnot, a high-level position was created under Dave, I believe, which took over a fairly substantial portion of his responsibilities. And as near as I can tell, that job's probably gonna be about $100,000 price tag. Where is that falling into the budget? Since that wasn't part of the plan when we approved the last budget. Is there an adjustment coming for that?
So possibly, the expenses for that will now become split. I think we determined it's being split 50% water, 50% wastewater. So it's no longer general fund, it's coming out of water and wastewater. Water and wastewater had a little bit of a cushion already built into, well, I won't say built in, but we have yet to incur anything extra. We're actually currently sitting at where we would still be under budget in those funds. So while we have additional costs there, we also haven't incurred some of the other costs that we thought we were going to. So if, as we get through the year, it looks like we're going to have more, it's probably gonna be more of a next year thing that we're gonna have to, when we get next year's budget, we're probably gonna have to consider that. I think this year it'll mostly be absorbed, and if it's not, when we actually get to that point, then we will have to come to the budget.
So again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just heard you say we're not gonna do some other stuff because we did this.
No, not necessarily, we haven't done it yet, so we're doing budget amendments as they come up, we just haven't gotten there yet because we haven't came close to spending those for such large budgets that we haven't came close to actually incurring any overages, so.
And to help with that, Greg, if I can, that's a position that I've been budgeting for the last several years, looking at what I'm going to need for replacement, the types of skill sets, type of person, that type of thing. So I have put that in for the payroll submission for each budget, looking for the idea of, when we find the right person to do this position, or if we're comfortable putting that out for advertisement, then we would have the money for it. And that has been budgeted for the last 2 years, at least in the last several budgets. And now we have the money, and that's one of the reasons why he's not asking for amendment at this phase. And where I budgeted the hours in seemed to be congruent to with where I'm going to place this position. As far as you remember in the budget setting, we were talking about lead copper rules. That's where some of the money's going to come out of water distribution. That's money I've already allocated towards that. Same thing with wastewater treatment. Planned upgrades that we've been talking about the last couple of years, is money that I've allocated towards the personnel hours for that position as well.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Maybe this is something that people understand. How do you budget for a position for years before you, I mean, does the money just stay there for a couple of years until you get the person? Are you using it? I don't understand how
Well,
that works.
if the person's not there, you don't spend it, so it's still back into the fund when it rolls over.
In your budget?
Yeah, simply whether it be the different funds like water, wastewater, Act 51 for streets, that type of thing. So that money, you don't use it, it stays in those funds until you use it. that money has been there, it's been a part of the budget approval for the last at least 2 years, until we can find the right person to fill these positions.
And if you remember, Roxanne, we did create or ask the personnel committee to take a look at this, the process for doing this and how these jobs just appeared, you know,
Right.
whether it was there all the time. And
Right.
we didn't know about it or, you know, it wasn't highlighted or anything like that, so you know, we just need to get a handle on how these things occurred.
Right, that, I guess that's, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we had a motion and support on the table, so with pleasure, all those in favor say yes.
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 Any opposed say no. Motion is passed, thank you very much. Ordinances, first up, we have consideration of a resolution to adopt ordinance number 822 to amend the zoning map of the city of Alma as it appears in section 32-32 of the ordinances of the city of Alma. This ordinance is to rezone the property at 842 Warwick Drive from R3 multifamily residential district to a CI campus institutional district, which would be subject to the conditions set forth in the conditional rezoning agreement. Your pleasure.
Move to-
Let me just do one thing first, guys. I was looking at the proposed ordinance. This was introduced at the last session, can be enacted now at this one or any other one, but the effective date, as it was written, was 15 days from and after enactment, which is the usual standard in the charter. This ordinance, though, because it's an amendment of a zoning ordinance, is governed by state law, which requires that it be published within 15 days. And it doesn't become effective until 7 days after publication. So this ordinance, the effective date language has to read, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced 7 days from and after its publication, as provided in MCL 125.3401. That has to happen.
I have a question for anyone further. Greg, are you abstaining from this, or should Roxanne be reading this? Since this has to do with everything.
I think,
Defer to the attorney.
yeah, I would say that's a good idea.
Okay.
I mean, abstaining for sure, based on what you've done in the
I was
past.
planning to do that, I'm just
Yeah.
unsure
Well,
about.
I didn't know if, because you handed over the thing
yeah.
there, I didn't know if
Yeah.
that
What
was.
else would-
I don't think he should, I don't think he
Okay.
should be taking part in the discussion,
Okay.
so
I
if
just
he's
didn't
gonna
know if
abstain.
that was.
But I think-
happened, so that's why I was asking.
as long as he's not gonna have anything to do with that and he's not voting.
Well, am I allowed to ask a question about what the statement you just made?
Yeah, I think you can ask a question about what I just
Okay,
made.
because, does it have to be reintroduced then? with
No, I don't
this
believe so.
updated
One of the
language?
reasons it has to be introduced is for the, this type of thing. And that's, it takes, that the 2-week period.
Okay.
So I don't believe that has to be reintroduced.
So,
Move to table until the entire commission is present.
Support.
okay, we have a motion and support. All those in favor say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no.
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 Okay, it looks like it's 3-2, so it is tabled.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, consideration of a resolution to adopt ordinance number 823 to amend section 60-94 of the City of Alma's Code of Ordinances to reduce the required distance between body piercing establishments within the City of Alma. Your pleasure.
Move for that.
Support.
Motion support, comments or questions? Background from staff?
Yep, this is, we talked about a couple of weeks ago. This would change the buffer between body piercing and the next one's tattoo, so it would be the same thing. From 1,000 foot to 300, and then also reduce from 500, 300 from libraries, schools, public parks, and public playgrounds to 300 foot. Also, this would be consistent with our 300 foot notice requirement that we send out property owners for public hearings, and 300 foot that we have in our marijuana facilities. It matches all up with that, so. Any more questions?
Okay, who has the first question?
So this is just more consistent now with what we've actually had in the past for everything.
Yep, and it allows for more opportunities for establishments to locate in the B1 district specifically. 1,000 foot in the B1 takes up a good 75% of the downtown commercial space.
It's a foot per mile.
Yep. Quite a bit.
Okay.
And then just a side question, if he decides, the individual decides not to do one of those two, then can someone else take over the one, or does he still hold the ordinance? So you got the piercing and then the tattoo. he decides to only do piercing? I'm just curious, that's just
Nope,
more of a curiosity question.
Nope, we don't have any limitations on the number of them.
Okay.
This is just, the buffer.
Okay.
It would, be open if we had two more people come and wanted to open a tattoo shop. They could do that as long as they were,
Good.
outside of 300 foot and those different, other uses.
And forgive me, we don't license these establishments ourselves, do we?
Nope, we do a special use permit, and then the state of Michigan does, the health department does their inspections and licensing each year, and then Laura has a license that they have to have from that.
It's all state licensed.
Yes, yes. Yep.
Good. All right, anybody else? I believe we had a motion, correct? Okay. So all those in favor say yes?
Yes.
Any opposed say no?
I'll abstain.
Danny, abstains, okay? That motion is passed. Moving on to number 3, consideration of a resolution to adopt ordinance number 824 to amend section 60-95 of the Alma City Code of Ordinances to reduce the required distance between tattoo establishments within the city of Alma. Your pleasure.
Move to adopt.
Support.
Got a motion support. Any additional comments, questions? Very similar to what we just talked about, so, anybody? Hearing none, those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. And any abstentions?
Abstain again, yep.
One more abstention, all right, Danny.
Well, we
Okay,
just don't want
so
to
that
play
is
nice with
passed.
the other kids, do it.
Moving down to 2, consideration of a resolution. Number 1, consideration of a resolution authorizing the Michigan Department of Transportation Master Agreement 2022-0005 for fiscal years 2022 through 2025, and direct the mayor and the city clerk to execute the agreement on behalf of the city of Alma. Your pleasure here.
Move to approve.
Support.
Motion and support. Are there comments or questions or comments from staff?
This is our every 3-year agreement to allow us to receive our funding for services provided by transportation. Is there anything else, Brent, that I should?
No, that's basically the rules that MDOT gives us, that we have to follow in order to receive those funds.
Okay. Any questions? Hearing none, those in favor say yes.
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 Any opposed say no. Motion's passed. Thank you. Now I'll move down to number 2. Consideration of a resolution authorizing the execution of a letter of agreement amending 2021 through 2024 collective bargaining agreement between the City of Alma and the Police Officers Association of Michigan, representing the patrol officers in the city's police department. Your pleasure.
Move to approve.
Support.
Motion support.
Is this the amendment of the amount of money?
Yes, this is
cap
the
on-
amendment to remove the cap on the employee contribution, but it also keeps the effective city contribution at 5.85%.
As well as the officers' mandatory
Yes,
contribution of a
mandatory
minimum of 5.8%, 5%, matching what the city puts in, so, okay? Just remove the cap, so. Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. Motion's passed, thank you. Reports, the commissioners may receive the following reports by one resolution, or any one commissioner may remove any item within the section for individual discussion and vote. Tonight, we have reports from the Alma Police Department, September 21, the Alma Transportation Center, September 21st, the finance report for first quarter or fiscal year 2025, first quarter, and interim city manager, October 8, 2021 report. Your pleasure.
Eric, do you want us to pull those?
We can talk about the employee benefit in the next one if we want to, or if there's, I think the rest of it's more along the lines of information.
We can talk about it in the business.
Yeah, you've got it down here as an item, so.
Yeah.
If you want to do it right now, we can.
Up to you.
Yeah, we can stay. Move to approve all 4 reports.
Okay.
Support.
Anybody else want to pull anything? Nice chance. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed say no. Motion's passed, and we have received the reports. Moving on to appointments. Consideration of a motion to approve Andrew Baird, Jessica Gilkins, and Sonia Gibson as members at large of the Alma Planning Commission.
Support.
The motion support, and anybody have questions first, or? I just want to tell everybody, Eric and I did have an opportunity to sit down with all of those individuals. Very impressive group. We're very fortunate to have citizens of this caliber come forth and volunteer to serve on our committee, so just very exciting. Eric, do you have anything to add?
No, I appreciate it. It's a volunteer job that carries a lot of responsibility, and it was really nice meeting these folks. I knew one of them, but I didn't know a couple of them, so I got to meet some new people that live here and looking forward to working with him.
And I think Sonia's back here.
I think Andrew is.
Saw
Oh, is Andrew here?
Andrew's over there.
Oh, there he is, okay. Didn't recognize you,
Yeah,
sorry.
Jessica's here too.
Oh, and Jessica's here too. Oh, yeah, wow.
Oh,
Everybody snuck
Oh,
in.
there's Jessica, hi.
Good, hi. Good.
So, anybody else have
Welcome.
comments or questions? I'm sure need three of them, they're all here. Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
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 Any opposed say no. Okay, we've made 3 appointments. Congratulations and thank you. to everyone.
Congratulations, thank you.
And especially thank you. Okay, moving down. Consideration of a resolution to authorize interim city manager Eric Ripley to execute documents naming JFP Management as third-party administrator for benefit plans.
Move to approve.
Our motion support, are there any comments or questions?
Eric was gonna explain.
Yep, I'll just give you a little background on this. Currently, the reason why staff is requesting us to change our third-party administrator is really the service that we're receiving at the moment. They're overseeing our health benefit programs. For the past year, 2 years, we've had issues with receiving multiple bills. Instead of receiving one bill from them for what we need to pay for all our different benefits that are coming through, we're receiving 3 or 4. Not only does it cause us to write extra checks, but also reconciliation of those benefits to make sure they're going to the right employees, to the right benefit programs. So that's probably the biggest program, is it's taking up staff time that we need to be working on some other things to get us back up to speed in the finance department. Also, our HRA, our self-help care providing side of things, that is receiving too many buildings also in there. And then when we call for questions that we have on different issues, we're having some trouble getting answers back in a timely manner. Obviously, we're all going through some staffing issues with people, not being enough people to work with and such, but it's causing us to have to call multiple times and actual carriers themselves. We've met with JFP, and obviously this will be a new venture for us. It's a year-to-year type thing, but there is some cost savings from the standpoint of the administration. Right now, we're paying $27.05 per employee per month. What they're presenting to us is that they wouldn't be charging us anything but our flexible spending account, which is $750 a month, and that's only charged to somebody who is actually utilizing the flex program. They don't charge us on the other side of those things, but they're receiving the other ones. They're picking their payments up through the commissions that they receive through the other carriers, so that's where they're getting their payment on that. Also, right now, we receive 3 Blue Cross Blue Shield cards. Under this proposal, we just have go back to our 1. And then again, the big thing is that we get consolidated billing, knowing exactly where, what insurance plan was being used, what employee is used that benefit, and that it's being paid out properly, and then the deductibles are being charged appropriately too. So. On top of that, the only other thing that could come up if we needed them or wanted them to do that anything, although beyond that, would be manage our 1095C reporting. That's done on a yearly basis. But I've been told that our staff can handle that as long as we get the information from our third-party administrator. We can fill out those reports and send them in. So we shouldn't need that, but that is out there. But it's really about changing this, what we want and what you have a third-party administrator for is to help save time within the staff so we can focus on other things. And right now, my staff is telling me that it's taking up more time than it should to get these items done and completed, and in a timely manner for the employees also. So we're just asking that we enter into this, and hope, we're very hopeful after talking to them that they can live up to what we need. If they don't, obviously, there's a way to change that too in the future, so.
Can I ask Sherry a question?
Sure,
I know this,
yeah.
Sherry, this is based out of, Jackson. Did you use this when you worked at the city of Jackson? Did you use this company?
I did, I used them for 4 years, the city of Jackson, I used them for 12 or more years.
Okay. And you were satisfied with them? Okay. Thanks.
Having spent 25 years in the insurance business, having a really good TPA is essential, especially in anything to do with healthcare, because you can't navigate it. Even with 12 licenses, you still can't navigate through it, and having a really good TPA is really essential.
Go any further, or?
No, that's-
We already started questions, I
Yeah.
guess, so.
Yeah.
Who has the next question? I guess, you and I talked earlier, so I guess I gotta ask the question again. It sounds too good to be true. I mean, they're collecting somehow, instead of paying 27, we're paying $7, and they're collecting their commission from the insurance underwriter?
From the carriers, yes, through the carriers, Blue Cross Blue Shield, they're paying them their commission.
Okay. And our other administrator did not collect that?
I'm assuming they did, and they were outside the fee.
Okay. Interesting, so.
You can make a lot of money being a third-party administrator. Just saying.
Sounds like perhaps someone was.
No, but I did ask that specific
Okay.
question to them, that, you know, obviously, this is quite a bit of savings, and then even the 750, that's just if you're in the flex program, not
Yeah,
everybody's
so
in the
that
flex
doesn't
program.
cover all employees.
But they receive their funding, their pay, their income from the commissions that.
No, and I'm fine, I know people have to, to run a business, you need the income, and it's gotta come from somewhere, just, it's nice to know where it's coming from, how they make their money. I guess the other one was making a lot of money, so. Did you have a chance to talk with anybody, any of the references? I guess Jackson was one, but did you talk to the county or St. Louis, Ithaca, anybody else locally using them that we might have?
Locally, no one's using St. Louis and St. Louis and Ithaca are using Centennial Group out of Lansing.
Which is not the one we had before.
No,
either,
not the
so.
one we had before either, no. Sherry, did you have anybody else that you want to mention about
There
JFP?
was somebody out of Grand Rapids called the Buying Group, however, I don't know anybody using them. The lady at St. Louis gave me that name
Okay,
and number.
but you didn't get a quote from them or anything? You did not get a proposal from them?
No.
Okay, so this was the only proposal that we sought? Is that true? Okay. And that would be my only really, I mean, this sounds like a really good deal, but as a matter of course, I always like to get proposals from 2 or 3 entities before you enter into an agreement, so. I believe we do have a motion and support on the table, so any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Any opposed say no. Motion is passed. Thank you very much. There is one other thing that came to my mind. I'm afraid I should have introduced it or asked about it probably before we set the agenda for the evening, but since we're in new business. Your interim wage, we did not set that. I think that has to be set by the commission, doesn't it?
That makes perfect sense to
I
me.
think it does.
I have not seen that.
And it
So-
just dawned on me, I don't believe we ever did
So
that.
thank you for all your time so far.
I presume we're already paying you something, but, and I don't know if you really want to do it at this meeting, or,
Well, I think we can talk about it. I don't know.
Is it-
I don't.
I know nobody's
I'd have to
prepared for
look
this
at the
discussion,
budget
so,
and then
okay.
we can always back.
All right, let's bring that, put it on the agenda for
I'll
our
just
next
let Curtis
meeting.
do that.
That's fine, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
All right. And I apologize, I should have made sure it was on this agenda and gotten some information out.
Don't worry
Don't
about
worry,
this,
I
we
forgot
got
about
so
it.
much else going on.
I do apologize because that was oversight and that shouldn't have happened, so. All right. Just dawned on me here and I forgot. Okay, appropriations. Anyone in favor of paying the bills?
Move to pay the appropriations.
Support.
And motion support. Anybody have questions about the bills?
I do have one clarification. We did find after we submitted that there is a typo. There was one invoice that we submitted on the sheet that you guys received. It was for a full PO amount. We're only paying a partial amount right now. So we're actually paying less than what is actually on the approval. I just wanted to make that as a point of clarification that the actual total is gonna be about $60,000 less.
Okay.
So we still will pay that eventually, just not today.
We haven't, because we've only incurred part of the
Right,
cost of the
because-
contract at this point? Is
Yes,
that what
we
you're
had,
doing?
we had the full we basically accidentally put in the full contract amount as opposed to our quarterly payment, so.
Okay.
Just
Thank
want to
you.
make that clarification.
Thank you, Curtis, we appreciate that. Anybody else have questions? Hey, all those in favor of paying the bills, say yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Anyone opposed would say no, please. The bills have been paid, thank you very much. Commissioner comments? Audrey, would you like to start us off this evening?
I'm drawing a blank right now. Can I
You
come, can you
reserve,
come back to
reserve
the
your
end?
time?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
that's
just
very
kidding.
good.
No,
No,
I'm okay.
you can come, we will come back to you if you prefer.
I'm all right, thank you.
Michelle?
I have
Are
a
you on-
list
are you on
tonight, so I
vacation
wouldn't
already,
forget,
or-
no, so I
okay.
wouldn't forget, I have a list.
It's a big list.
I know, I'll take your
Why don't you give
time.
me a couple of yours?
First, today is Farmers Day, so I want to thank all the local farmers in Gratiot County for all that they do. We were talking about this earlier, the railroad tracks on Woodworth are being fixed. State are better than they were, and I haven't passed Park, but luckily those are.
State's not much better than it was.
And then, on Saturday, we had about 60 Alma College cheer, students from, to take out our old, they weren't old, the flowers, because it was time to put the mums in. So if you notice the mums downtown, the
Very
cheer
pretty.
team came in, and we want to thank Twin City for the mums and to keep Alma beautiful board. Lori, the library sign, I've heard lots of comments on it, it looks great, so thanks for that. Yesterday I was off work and I happened to make the mistake of going down Pine Street at 3 o'clock, which not good when you're not a mom.
No.
But I don't know if you call him Officer Blue or Blue, our friend at the police department. He was at the corner with Casey, and I have never seen so many kids excited to cross the street when Blue, our safety dog, was there with them. Alma High School marching band went to the festival yesterday, and they received all one, so congratulations to them. If anybody has, I think they're not so sunny lately, but the sunflowers on Panther, is it Panther Trail?
Panther Parkway.
Panther Parkway. The FFA kids at the school planted those and learned all how they can help the soil, and I learned a little bit on that, but I can't give you definitions of what it is. And then the new mural downtown is complete on Woodworth from the Alma College students, and we do want to put a shout out to Andrea Wernick. Goodness, I can't think of her last name. She's the one that started. She's the one that started the murals downtown on the back of Studio 9. St. Mary's Schools, they're selling pumpkins and Downey and Park. And then also our neighbors are having the block party, like we had Elmo Live. They're having a block party for the fall in St. Louis this Saturday from 4 to 8. And I know that a lot of people from St. Louis came to Elmo Live, so I invite everybody to jump over there and check it out. Okay, I'm done.
That's all?
That's it.
I feel like we should give you a hand.
No, I was thinking of it
That
today,
was
and I knew if I
excellent.
didn't write it down, I would, you know, Nick's not here to start and then say, hey, I thought of something, so.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
Roxanne? Has a great bookends here. Danny?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Okay, sensing a theme. Roger?
No, I have something. I have
Okay.
something. Gratiot County Players.
See, I didn't
The
say-
long-awaited premiere of Mamma Mia, after almost 2 years of preparation, opens a week from Friday night on the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and then the 29th, 30th, and 31st at the usual times. I believe there are 2 additional Saturday matinees, or at least one Saturday matinee, but check with the box office. You can get tickets online right now, www.gratiotcountyplayers.org. GratiotCountyPlayers.com. I do encourage all of you to get in there and see Mamma Mia. It is such a fun play. Just, you're all familiar with it, I think, and it's basically the same as the movie, and but a play is always better than a movie. Great cast, but most of all, I want you to get in the theater and see what the last year and a half has happened to the theater. Taking that time off rather than sitting around and doing nothing, with the help of the Gratiot Community Foundation and lots of personal donations by members at large, we raised about $100,000 to spend on the building, and we spent it. It's all new seats. If you've gone in there and had your knees cramped in front, by the seat in front of you, that ain't gonna happen no more. There are 4 feet between each one of the rows of seats. Reduced the levels going up from 17 to 9, just with putting boards over and covering 2 of them, basically. All of the chairs that are in there are very similar to what you see in here. They do hook, the only difference is the ones that we have actually have little cup holders on the back of them for you to put your water only, as of now, though, in there. It's all been redone. It's absolutely beautiful. You will love it. It's a first-class theater at this point, but just see what $100,000 of your money and everybody else's money through the Community Foundation, and again, most of it was just gifts. So I believe the Community Foundation was $20,000, and all the rest of it was just gifts from people. So get in there and see. The lobby's been redone. Everything has been redone. You'll enjoy it, and you'll enjoy Mamma Mia. GratiotCountyPlayers.com.
You talk a lot about the theater, but your friends and neighbors are going to be up on stage. So, I mean,
Yes,
that's always
yes, yes, yes.
great to see as well.
Yeah.
So, Sarah? Mr. Attorney?
Yeah, just one thing. The Alma High School Sports Hall of Fame is having their induction banquet this year. They didn't have it last year because of COVID. It's a great event. It's at the Pine River Country Club. It's this Saturday. If you need tickets, it's dinner and, camaraderie and everything else. And if you've ever played sports in Alma High School, you'll love it. Great class coming in. If you need tickets, I believe they're $30. Giles Tire Service is selling them. Mike Miller at Commercial Bank will sell them to you too. But it's a neat event. It's been going on for years, and it's a great way to support Alma High School and the athletic department. It's also the closest I'm ever going to get to the Hall of Fame.
Audrey, did you have anything?
No, I still got it. Thank you.
Just had to come back. Now, you're it.
Since we were talking about that a little bit before, fall's here. Just a reminder, we'll get it on Facebook a few times. The last day for yard waste pickup, typical bags out and brush at the curb is October 22nd. After that, we just do leaves to the curb and back up. So please just remember that, because we always run into the end of the year. It's like when they come and get the bags, after the 22nd, we will not be doing that. So
April.
we'll make sure we get that out a couple more times on Facebook and stuff, but please, it makes it much easier for our crews to get that all done that way, and hopefully it's better for the resident if they know ahead of time too. So thank you for reminding me about the leaves.
Yeah, just remind you too, go ahead and have them drop off the trees so we can get them raked up. Okay, I have nothing. I think you guys covered it very well tonight, so thank you for that. So, and at this time, we'll open the meeting up to public comment. And I would like to address the commission. Please come to the podium, state your name and address, and you have up to 5 minutes, I believe.
Chuck Murphy, 823 Pine, and also County Commissioner, representing Precinct 2 here in Alma. I have a couple things. The county has a total of $7.8 million in American Recovery Funds, and we're asking people to submit projects. And I think you guys got about $1 million coming, something like that. So.
And we got about $20 million worth of projects, so
Right.
it's in the right place.
So, we're asking people to submit stuff to us. Hopefully we don't have to make a tough decision, but, we're gonna have to, so there's that. And I also wanted to report that the Apportionment Commission has redrawn the county commission districts. There's quite a few changes because Alma increased population, everybody else dropped. It's typically in rural situations. Not dropped as much as like the UP dropped 15%, the city of Detroit dropped 15%, so there's a lot of changes. So the districts are as follows. Now the Apportionment Commission is every census, the clerk, the prosecuting attorney, and the treasurer has to redraw the lines. So District 1 is going to be City of Alma, Precinct 1, and Pine River and Seville Township. District 2 is City of Alma, Precinct 2, City of St. Louis, and Bethany Township. District 3 is City of Alma Precinct 3 with Arcata, Sumner, and Emerson Township. And then the rural areas of the county, District 4 is Wheeler Township, Lafayette Township, Hamilton Township, North Star Township, and the City of Ithaca. The balance is District 5, New Haven Township, North Shade Township, Newark Township, Fulton Township, Washington Township, and Elba Township. So quite a few changes there. Also, you know, that we passed a constitutional amendment to create a citizens commission on the state lines. Gratiot's, looks like Gratiot's being split again, which we kind of been used to. A lot of us advocated to keep it whole, but they like to split us up, I guess. So, one state house district is all of Isabella County with the 3 cities in Gratiot County, St. Louis, Alma, Ithaca, and then Pine River Township, Seville Township, Bethany Township, Emerson Township, and Arcata.
That's one.
That is one district with the whole county of
Isabella.
Mount Pleasant, of Isabella County. The balance of the townships, which there's 11, I think I counted, is gonna be drawn into, now, they weren't supposed to do any gerrymandering, but it's into a district that comprises parts of 4 counties. So the rest of Gratiot County is in with western and southwestern Saginaw County, the top 4 townships in Shiawassee County. And then they still didn't have enough, so they decided to go all the way into Genesee County, and I think it's 2 parts of one township, another township, and maybe a couple of precincts that wrap around Flushing. So that's quite a district. Now, you know, they're gonna miss their constitutional deadline, so that's not in stone. But they did an awful lot of work drawing those districts, so I don't think they'll change them too much. But you never know, because it all may end up in court.
Lawyers, they're the worst.
Yeah, they're missing the constitutional deadline of November 1st. So, who knows? And then everybody's got to file by April 19th, and their plan, even if it goes all the way through, is only approved March 3rd. We're in for an interesting time with all that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate it, Chuck. Who else would like to address the commission? Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting this evening.
So moved.
Got a motion, is that your support? Got a motion, support, last chance. All those in favor of adjournment, say yes.
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 Any opposed, say no. We are adjourned, thank you very much. Appreciate everybody
Thank
coming
you.
tonight. Have a great evening.